Following breaking news near Montgomery's Riverfront Park, a fight beside the river has led to multiple arrests. Welcome to the news at 10. I'm Brady Talbert. A viewer sent us this video, which shows the fight just feet from water. A witness claims it started because a pontoon boat was blocking the dock where a riverboat was trying to park. You can see more people jumping in as that fight played out. Well, soon after, Montgomery police arrived at the scene. They say a large group of people were involved in this brawl. Our crew saw people in handcuffs. MPD says several people have been detained and any charges are pending tonight.
As I say over and over again on this channel, the Marxists, the socialists, the people that want to destroy America are using race primarily to do that. Another example of this is what happened this past weekend down in Montgomery, Alabama, a town and an area I'm very familiar with. There was a brawl, essentially, that took place because some white men decided to lash out at a black security guard who was simply doing his job. So I'm gonna show you, this first part of the video shows you the beginning of what actually led to this.
And crew from our little dinner cruise boat who got off our ship to go over there to move that black pontoon boat on his own because those guys who parked there were told not to leave it there and they left it there. So he's just pushing it off. That's fun. Took matters into his own hands. I love it. I hope the police give him a big old ticket. Then we're gonna knock his all the way out.
My dog, I like shit dog in here. Come on, dog. I ain't gonna do nothing but drown and I'm gonna come back again. I'm gonna say, no, we do for that, baby. Go with it.
No. Now, as you can see, the security guard was simply trying to move the boat out the way because they were blocking that cruise, that ride from docking. I guess those guys were drunk. They were probably inebriated. And so after a long and lengthy discussion, they came back and lashed out at the security guard. So the security guard had to defend himself. Now, before showing you different angles, I want to say that violence is not condoned by me or by anybody at all, period. I don't condone violence at all, and it should not be condoned by anybody. This guy was just defending himself, and he was being jumped on by the gang of white men. And so naturally, when you see that happening, other black folks are gonna jump in and protect that man. as you saw, this dude even jumped out of the other boat, which was a boat that was used by the company that the security guard more than likely worked for or had an association with. One guy jumped out of the boat and swam to help that man out because that man needed help. And where were the police officers? Where were the people that's supposed to be quote unquote protecting and serving? They weren't there. And see, that's what the people that want to destroy America want you to see. They want you to see this as a race war, as white men against black men. And on the surface, it is. It really is. When you look at this first glance, you're like, man, why are those white dudes jumping that black man? I mean, even me on the inside, like, man, that's not right. And it's not right. That is not right. But you know what is leading to that? All this hateful rhetoric on both sides. On the conservative side, people talking about there's a war on white people. You know what that puts in the mind of some white people? You got this song, Try It in a Small Town. You know, some people really took that to heart. They really did. And when you keep saying this over and over and over again, there's a war on white people. What do you think white people are going to do when they look at black people? They're going to have that in the back of their mind, this dude is trying to fight me. And then you got black people who've been giving this message that you're constantly oppressed, you're constantly a victim, that the system is against you. When you see white men attacking a black security guard, you know you're going to jump in and fight. That's a powder keg, and that's what they want. They want to have this powder keg of racial idolatry on both sides explode to the point to where we fighting at each other, and then they slide in, assume power, and then relegate everybody to permanent serfdom. That's what they want. But because they know they can use emotion, they can use race to manipulate people, to get people to do what they want them to do, then they use examples like this to prove the racial animus that is inherent, as they say, that is embedded within the framework of America. I'm gonna show you another angle of this incident.
These white folks jumped on these black men that work security. We trying to get on the zipper side for the Marriott, trying to come through. And the man was telling them to move their boat because the Marriott couldn't dock so the folks could get off. And everybody on the zipper cycle, we just waiting. Why these folks just swung on and jumped on this black man? Baby, the crew member that jumped out the Marriott, baby.
This is not black culture at all. This is what happens when people have been pushed by the media and by the culture. Yeah, the culture that has been propagated by the Marxism, the socialists, the communists, and the people that want to destroy America. This is what happens when you push people like that. You have them act like animals. You have them act like animals. This is what happens. And when you have alcohol involved, then the animal instinct will come out. They got jumped. They got jumped. And you know what? They provoked it. They provoked it. I'm all about turning the other cheek. I'm all about making sure that you are a peacemaker. See, we should be peacemakers. But too many people on both sides are not peacemakers. They're warmongers. They want to keep this stuff up because they use hate to retain power. See, all these people you see on TV saying this stupid stuff, they saying it because they know it gets them ratings. They know if they can gin up hate to get people against each other, you'll watch them. That's what they do it for. And they understand that. The same people you see arguing with each other on TV, 5 minutes later, they're going out to have lunch with each other. This is sad, this was disturbing, but it's not surprising. Because of the spirit that has been unleashed in America, this spirit of hatred, this spirit of racial animus, this spirit of racism that has rid us. Race relations are worse now than they were 20, 30, 40 years ago. And that is intentional. You got black people who've been told over and over again that the white man is the enemy. So therefore, whenever they see white people, they see them as an enemy. And then you got white people who've been told recently that there's a war on white people. And so therefore, whenever they see somebody that doesn't look like them, when there's a conflict, this is what you get. So this is going to be blown up as a MAGA against the culture kind of deal, when really it's not. It's just some drunk white dudes who decided to push back against a black security guard who's doing his job, and the white dudes got beat down. Simple as that. But we as believers, we should be peacemakers. We should be the ones coming in bringing the peace. We don't want people to be victims, because when you're a victim, then you are constantly at the bottom of the rung. We are not victims. We are empowered for greatness.